The NHL has some of the best logos, uniforms, and overall designs and looks in all of pro sports. Changed my mind because the sweaters and the uniforms and jerseys that are worn have so much real estate. There are amazing things that graphic designers and artists can do to create wonderful logos. Stick with me here on this journey as we rank every NHL logo since the inclusion of the WHA. So that is the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s by tier. And with that being said, welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports with me, Coach Ryan D. This channel is one of your #1 places for coaches, breakdown content, and hockey tactics understanding. But also we like to do some fun videos like this in the off season. We're going to rank logos. There's a ton of lists out there like this, but thank you to Coach Rory D, my brother, for giving me this idea. Yeah, it's been done before, but it's a good way for my subscribers and the rest of you to get to know myself and my personality, introduce you to my channel. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Check out some of the other videos to this channel for real in-depth hockey general manager and coaches knowledge. All right, baby, let's go ahead and take a look at let's go ahead and take a look at all the primary logos from the current NHL teams in the modern era, and let's rank them. Before we get in, number 1, I'm a biased Jets fan. Number 2, I do not have any other preference to team after that. There's no second team, there's no third team. Number 3, when I'm going through these logos, I am trying to look at them from the category of what I think is a good logo. I'm not taking legendary status into it. So if you've been around for 100 years as a team, tough. I'm not taking players into it. I'm not taking anything but the look of the logo, and is it something I'd want on a hat, a shirt, and does it make sense on a hockey uniform and inspire just a sense of cool and awe. This is my list. This is my thoughts. If you disagree, go ahead, head to Tier Maker. I'll leave the link down below. Make your own list. Let me know. Send me a copy. I'll actually take a look at it. Comment. Let me know how dumb I am or whatever you want to do down below in the comments, because I'm never going to get it right and make everybody happy. So with that being said, we have 75 logos to get through. The Easter eggs and large breakdowns for each one of these logos, I'm going to put into a separate video. So if you guys like this and this gets a lot of likes and it gets a lot of traction, I will make a separate video where I go through some of the most unique logos in the NHL and really break down why they're there and what you may or may not be missing inside those logos. Let's get to the list. All right, here we go. Tiermaker.com. We have our 75 logos in place, not in alphabetical order. The Colorado Avalanche. We have 3 we're going to deal with. The A with the Avalanche and the puck. Iconic logo. Love the color scheme on this logo. Love that it's A for Avalanche. Love that this circle in the middle can be made to look like a C. Everything about this is great. This is an A tier logo. The other 2 Colorado logos that they've worn since then, primary logos, we're not looking at the big foot or the shoulder patches. The C with the puck in the middle, teams should be embarrassed. This is an F tier logo compared to their logo that they have up here. This is just a quick cash in for some other jersey. They should never get away from this logo. And finally, the Quebec Nordiques ripoff logo. I hate this logo. It's going to F tier. Not because it's not an igloo, not because the Nordiques aren't awesome. They are fantastic. Not because it's a hockey net with an N in the middle, 4 Nordiques with a stick and a puck. Everything about this logo I really like. I hate the fact that the NHL is shoving logos down our throat for teams that relocated. I'm from Winnipeg. We lost our team to Phoenix. And frankly, I will never associate the Phoenix Coyotes with the Winnipeg Jets. Not a chance in heck. And putting the logo of a team to which the city lost is an insult to me. So it's an F. Should never be done. Quebec, you'll get a team back one day, and it will be the Nordiques. All right, St. Louis has 2 logos. The St. Louis Blues that is flying. This is a good logo. Some fans like it. It's plain, it's simple. Love the color scheme. Not sure why it's flying, but it's flying. Reminds me something out of a Mario game, but it doesn't matter because it's big. It makes sense. I love the simplicity of this logo. The St. Louis Blues trumpet logo, that's an F. Compared to the flying blue, it makes absolutely no sense. Like, I get it. Okay, the Blues, it's the trumpet. Maybe people didn't get that this is music. Nope, I don't like it. The Tampa Bay Lightning new symbol, the Bolt. Some fans like it. It's a B. And why is it a B? Well, it's a very basic logo, which I like. It's clean. I love clean. Clean looks good. But They could have used either an outline around it or a combination of their old logo, because if you come here, I actually think that their regular logo just before this one, I like the color scheme a little bit better. I like the 3-layered colors. I don't like that it says Tampa Bay. I hate when you add needless writing to it, because that says, hey, you have no idea who we are. We're a new team expansion. Yay, Tampa Bay. And that wasn't necessary. Now that you're near Dynasty, this bolt makes way more sense. I like the silver a little better. Find a way to combine them both. And the original Tampa Bay logo, big F. Why? Because this writing, Tampa Bay Lightning, we got to let you know who you are. Again, I like this logo. This looks like a child made it. I just don't dig it at all. Boston Bruins, legendary team, legendary logo. The big B inside the hub and spoke. I love it. I like that it looks aggressive. It's better than the bears that they've used before. This logo is also an A-level logo. Now, here's probably the first place where people are going, how could this not be S tier? We are not going to put every original 6 team in the S tier. It's not going to happen. This is a very good logo. I like it. It's clean. It's smart. It's sharp, but it isn't the first thing I'm going to run out and say, take my money. And I love the Bruins. We cover them all the time on this channel. What up, Hockey B? One of my best favorite commenters here. The other two Bruins logos. This Bruins logo, as you can see, the only difference is a little bit less aggressive on the B. Some fans like it. It's clean, love it, but it's not A tier. The current logo they have today is there. And then the Cam Neely logo, the logo that they wore in the mid 90s, very basic, a retro throwback logo. The home fans like it. Really simple. The Vancouver Canucks, they have 3 logos here. The Vancouver Canucks Orca is awesome. 1, they're owned by Orca Entertainment. Makes sense. 2, killer whales are awesome. My favorite animal, no question about it. Love them. 3, the indigenous art on it is fantastic. I love any homage, and I do believe in reconciliation with our indigenous population. This is a fantastic logo. Everything about it is classy. It is awesome. The color scheme is fantastic. It makes perfect sense. It's S tier. It's an S tier logo. I love the way this looks. I would rock this on a hat or a shirt any day of the week. Vancouver has some amazing logos. This is great. The hockey skate. Controversial, looks cool, amazing color scheme. This screams the 90s. It is a fantastic logo. I love when retro nights come out. The Pavel Bure jersey, this logo is fantastic. Is it quite S tier? No, but I'm actually going to put it in A tier. It's really well thought out. It looks very cool. It is super unique. There's nothing like it. This is such a cool logo. And then finally, the Vancouver Canucks stick in a rink. This color scheme is excellent. Vancouver has no idea what their color scheme is ever. They change it all the time, but this color scheme is excellent. I love the simplicity of it. The fact that the stick could make a V. I mean, you could reach and say that kind of stuff, but this is also an A tier logo. It's an A tier logo. Well, no, you know what? We're going B tier. And the only reason we're going down, some fans are going to like it, but I just don't think it's in the same category when I put it side by side with the Canucks skate. So it's a good logo. And if you're a fan of simplicity, some might put this up in S tier. I understand why, but for me, this is a B tier logo then. Washington, they have 2 logos in writing, and I'm going to put them right here in the home fans like it. Why? Because it just says Washington Capitals. It's classic, it's clean, it's basic. Anytime you have to write out your name like this, I find it's pretty boring. I love the fact that the Rangers just do Rangers down their jersey. That's all they should do, but that's not their logo. So when I think about their logo, meh. The Washington Capitals Capitol building with the stars and the hockey stick, it looks cool. It makes sense. Now you're going, oh, that's what a capital is, right? What's a capital? Capital City. Got it. Nailed it. But what could your logo actually be? This logo is pretty cool, but I think it was always better as a shoulder patch. And then finally, the Flying Eagle. Oh my God. Who doesn't love this logo? Peter Bondra. This logo was made famous in the 90s. This is the first hockey jersey I ever bought because this logo was fire. I knew nothing about the Capitals. When the Jets left town, this is the jersey I bought. I became a Capitals fan when the Jets left because of this jersey. It is so freaking cool. This is S tier. It's not even close. This is my favorite logo in sports, period. You need to bring this one back. 4 logos here for the Carolina Hurricanes, the Eye of the Storm Hurricane. This is a great logo. It's going right into B tier. Some fans like it. It could move up to A tier, but I'll tell you why it doesn't in a second. I love that it has C's all over for Carolina. I get it. It looks simple. I love red, black, and white. Great color combination. It just says everything you need it to say. But when you look at it, if you don't know about the Carolina Hurricanes, you look at this and go, what? It's just a bunch of circles. And then you go, it's a hurricane. Oh, right. I get it. But that's my only hiccup with it, is that, it makes sense if you know what you're looking at. If you know what you're looking at, you're like, so it's going into B tier, but it's still a good logo. It's not low enough to go into C tier. Then this flag, this is going into C tier. The home fans like it. It's cool. Hurricanes are awesome. They're not awesome because they destroy things and kill people, but they're awesome forces of nature. Their power. I love that this is made. There is nothing more badass in the NHL than the term hurricane, because nothing else here on this list for team names could mess with a hurricane. It is a force of Mother Nature. It's an act of God. I love it. The hurricane flag on the hockey stick is very creative. I don't think they needed the triangle in the background. So this was a cool logo. However, their logo they're wearing right now, the double flag, it's an A. When I first saw this, I thought this was a joke. I didn't understand it at all. I'm from Winnipeg. We're landlocked. We don't have hurricanes here. So I actually looked up finally and went, okay, fine. Hurricanes aren't my favorite team. Why? Isn't one flag enough? Oh, Ryan, you're a moron. Yeah, I know. Let me know. It is 2 flags because of the danger, and that is what is actually posted out there, is the double stack hurricane flag. That makes sense. I get it. You put it on a hockey stick, it looks awesome. There's no triangle. Hurricane's a force of nature. A warning flag with the double stacked hurricane logo. It makes so much sense, and it makes even more sense than the actual hurricane logo itself. This is a really well thought out logo once I looked it up. Excellent job. Hartford Whalers, you're going into an F. Not because I don't love the Whalers logo. I love it. I love the Hartford Whalers. I hate the fact that they keep reminding fans, we took your team and left. Nah. Nobody cares. So the Hartford Whalers, you definitely move up. But the fact that it's a Carolina Hurricanes logo, get out of here. The Chicago Blackhawks, this is an easy S tier, is it not? This is probably one of the best logos in all of sports. It's amazing. It looks amazing. It's fantastic. Everything about this is just, I love this logo. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but this logo is a fantastic logo. This is such an iconic logo. I love it. And we don't get into politics on this channel. So we're moving on. Columbus Blue Jackets. Hey, look, it's a C. It's got something flying around it. There's 13 stars for a reason. I don't remember my American history, to be honest. I'm Canadian, but there is 13 stars. Maybe were you the 13th state? Let me know down below in the comments. Give me a quick history lesson, but those 13 stars mean something. This logo looks cool. Red, white, and blue always looks awesome. This is just a very cool looking logo. So I'm going to say it's well thought out. It's an A tier logo. It just, to me feels like freedom and America, and I dig it. The Columbus Blue Jackets CB logo with the neon green, it's a fail for me. Absolute fail. Looks like a child drew this logo. The little star on top, it looks like a magic wand hockey stick with a CB. They really got it right moving to their other logo. Phoenix Coyotes. The coyote howling at the moon. Home fans love it. Really simple. It's just a coyote on a jersey. Doesn't inspire anything for me. It's a fine logo. However, the Phoenix Coyotes original logo, OG, this is S tier all day. This is an amazing, unique logo. I love everything about this. I'm going to tell you right now, I hate the Phoenix Coyotes. They shouldn't be in the NHL. I'm sorry, Arizona fans. I said I wasn't biased. Well, I also said I'm a Winnipeg Jets fan. The fact that our team left to the desert, which is not the fault of Arizona fans, but the fact that Gary Bettman put a team in the desert from a team in Canada makes absolutely no sense to me. They have not been profitable. You're paying massive amounts of taxes for it. They've been a terrible team since they've entered the league. Little success here and there. Stop trying to make it a thing. It's never going to be a thing. Hooray. They got Austin Matthews, but I understand how TV deals work, and there's 4 million people in the Glendale, Phoenix, whatever area you are now, Arizona Coyotes. I don't care. I love Arizona. I love Phoenix. I like the sports down there. Coyotes, I'm just pissed off at them. Just get out. Move them. But the logo, it is S tier. So taking the bias out of it, the logo looks fantastic. Dallas Stars, Big D, they're an A. Really well thought out logo. I like it. It's a play on the Dallas Cowboys, the Lone Star State. I get it. Big D. It all goes together. Sure, it's a bit of rip on the Cowboys, but it is still a very cool logo. However, I hate the jerseys. The jerseys with the logo, gross. The color scheme, gross. The color scheme of this original Dallas Stars logo was fantastic. So I'm going to put teams, some fans may like it. This jersey combination is definitely the better way to go, but this logo is better. If somehow you could blend the two together, I would like it, but there's no way, because this logo was built into the jersey. It made so much sense. This was a cool logo in the jersey, but as a logo by itself, this Dallas Stars logo is better. And then the Taurus constellation, huge F. Looks like he's got a piercing. The stars coming around for Dallas Stars. The Taurus constellation, I get it. It's Dallas. It's a bull. Doesn't make any sense. Get out of here. The Detroit Red Wings, S tier, baby. It's a wheel and it's flying. This is simple. It's awesome. This logo is fantastic. Never change it. Never get away from it. S tier all day. The Detroit Red Wings D. Home fans like it probably. I don't like it at all. I don't think there's any reason to ever have a jersey that doesn't have this. There are very few teams in the world that can have two color palettes, but they do an excellent job of it in Detroit. The New Jersey Devils. It's an N, it's a J, it's a devil. You know what? It's actually a pretty cool logo. I like it. I don't think it's an A tier logo. I wouldn't change it. There's nothing I would update from this logo, which is why it's never changed. They've won 3 Stanley Cups with this logo. It makes a lot of sense, the J and the N. It's a cool logo. It's fine. Very neutral. The green I'm going to put right beside it. I hate the red in this one. I like the dark red way better, but the green is very cool. It adds some really neat devilish licks to it. So these two are equal. The Anaheim Ducks, right away. Anaheim Ducks, just writing Anaheim Ducks, get out of here. I don't care about the lettering. It's a fail. It's a huge fail because the Ducks went from some of the greatest logos and jerseys to this trash. I get it. They wanted to separate and call themselves the Ducks, not the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Get rid of Disney. Understood. But you know what? It's very hard to buy a franchise that has such ties to people's childhood memories with some of the coolest logos in sports and change it and expect people to like it. It just doesn't look good. The big D though, however, it's actually an A tier. Now the reason this is an A tier is because from a logo standpoint, it makes perfect sense. It's 3 duck feet. The gold looks cool. The black looks cool. I love the hint of orange. 3D is carved into that if you haven't seen it for 3 Mighty Ducks movies. Right? Here we go. The Mighty Ducks or Ducks logo here, if you didn't have the original Mighty Ducks, would be fantastic. But we were spoiled. So I gotta take that bias out and put it in the A tier. However, there's a lot of people that hate this because frankly, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim logo is S tier all day. I don't care if it's green. I don't care if it's purple. I don't care if it's silver. Put it all in there. We love this logo. This logo is fantastic and it absolutely stands on its own. This is an S tier logo all day. Fun fact, Coach Ryan D is a member of Delta Upsilon fraternity. What up, Dikea? Not anymore. Too old for that. 35, long since graduated, but you never get out. A member of our fraternity created this logo, and our logo in the fraternity is actually a delta, so it is an upside down triangle, and a Y for Upsilon. Well, the sticks actually do form a Y as well, and the logo for the Delta Upsilon fraternity is unofficially the duck. So there you have it. The Mighty Ducks, created by a fraternity guy, your boy Coach Ryan D. It's connected to it. All right, the Calgary Flames. Home fans like it. It's going into the C tier. Why? Because it's just a C that's on fire. The Calgary Flames are a fantastic team with a storied franchise history. They've won cups, Lanny McDonald. It's great, but it's just a C on Flames. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that, but I am a big fan of the fact that it's basic and it's red and it makes tons of sense. This is a good logo. I do like it, but I'm just not going to really rock it in my general everyday life. It's not something that I'm like, wow, I got to get that. It just makes sense. And we've talked about this already. Most hockey logos look amazing. There's very few like hard fails, like all of these hard fails down here, they were hard fails for a reason. They didn't last very long. The Calgary Flames Bronco, the Bronco that is on fire. Well, we love Alberta here. We love Cowboys here. We love the idea of Alberta here. I do anyway. I think it's very cool. Just like I love the idea of Texas in that sense. And having the Bronco with the fire out of it is very cool. I think this is a super good logo, but it is just overpowered by the Calgary Flames C. The Calgary Flames C is just too iconic to get away from. It's too simple. Everybody knows what it is, but I actually think this logo is really, really good. I'm going to put it in C. I would put it higher. I think this logo is better than the C logo just by itself, but it just came on too late and people were unable to gravitate to it, so it didn't last very long. Florida Panthers C. Why? Because this logo is fine. It looks like somebody took themselves a little bit too seriously as a graphic designer. Okay, it's a cat. It's got some shadows. It says Florida. It's got a shield. huzzah, whatever. If this was their original logo, I'd say it's pretty cool. But the problem is they're competing with the Pouncing Cat, and the Pouncing Cat is absolutely A tier. This logo is fantastic. It is one of the coolest jerseys. It is an S tier uniform, but it's just an A tier logo just because it's so busy. But I freaking love it. It is the only 3D logo of an animal that I have seen that isn't a side profile that I like better than anything. It is so unique. James Van Beedsbrook, it was awesome. It's just an awesome logo. They should bring it back. Philadelphia Flyers, B tier. Why? Because you either love it or you hate it. The Philadelphia Flyers with the Broad Street Bullies and more importantly, the Legion of Doom, Eric Lindros, one of my favorite players of all time, they compete for the ugliest uniforms in the NHL, and in thus having the ugliest uniforms in the NHL, sometimes they're the coolest uniforms in the NHL. So it's really funny how that works, but they really do try to just clash as much as they can. The orange and black and the flying P, it's kind of neat, I guess, but like there's too many things in the NHL that are always flying, and even though it's a very old school legendary logo and some people are going to love it, I'm just putting it in B because if you love it, you'll love it. And if you don't, you don't. So the logo itself, it's fine. The Montreal Canadiens are absolutely an S tier logo. And I'm not a Canadiens fan. I said it, Jets fan, but it makes perfect sense. The H in the middle for Habs, the C for Canadiens, and then it plays into a whole bunch of other cool things. Hockey Club de Canada. Like I'm sorry, Montreal, you're going to hate me for it. There's tons of Habs fans in this channel, but the Hockey Club of Canada, Hockey Club, right? HC Canada, it's all in there, and they say it much more eloquently than I can. In Western Canada, there's not a ton of French, so forgive me for butchering it. I am an Anglophone, but it just makes sense. So you got Habs, you got Canadiens, you got Habitants du Canadiens. I don't think I said that right, but it's somewhere along those lines. And you have Hockey Club. It's all there. It's all there. Look up the history of it. Habs fans, you're going to know it better than I am. And everybody else, well, if you're not a Habs fan, you hate the Habs. It's like the Yankees, right? The Winnipeg Jets. This is a very cool logo, and I am putting it into A. It is so well thought out. There's a few things about this logo. One, it's a copy of the Royal Canadian Air Force. So we actually put not this logo, but a very similar logo, red dot with a blue circle, on all of our aircraft. After the Hurricanes, there is nothing more badass on this list than a CF-18 fighter jet. You know, if they've flown over you at sporting events or you've been around them, that they rock the world. It feels like an earthquake is coming. They're fantastic. And if they fly in packs, which they do, it's even louder and crazier. They are an instrument of death and a tool of defense. So putting an aircraft on a jersey is always going to be cool. The Canadian flag is in it behind it, and that maple leaf is stretched out from the original Royal Canadian Air Force red circle. Then you have the blue circle around it with the notch on the top pointing north because Winnipeg is in the north, and they are owned by True North Sports and Entertainment. Everything about this logo is cool. This is a very cool logo. If you don't get it, you don't get it, and that's fine. But there was a lot of thought that went into this logo, and frankly, if it looks like something that can be on the underside of an aircraft, it's pretty cool, especially if that aircraft is a fighter jet. The Winnipeg Jets logo. Boo. Boo. That's a big F. You just write out Jets. I hate it. Airplanes are cool. Jet fighters are cool. Bomber planes are cool. And you're going to write Jets. The New York Jets do this too. Maybe use a plane in your darn logo. All right. The Winnipeg Jets Heritage Classic logo. That's also going into an A tier for me. Why? I don't normally like the writing. Jets, Winnipeg. I'm not a huge fan when people have to write out their names, but it has a little plane in it. It's mostly the color scheme here and the fact that it's circular and it's really big, bold, and simple. These are some of the best uniforms in the league, these Heritage Classic uniforms and from the 80s. But this color scheme, the red and the type of blue that it is fantastic. This is such a cool colored jersey. So in spite of itself, it becomes super, super cool. So I like both these logos equally. And then finally for the Winnipeg Jets, the 1990s jersey that Solani wore, only home fans are going to like this. Sorry, Jets fans. I hope they bring this back at one point just so I can rock it because it's what I grew up with, but only home fans are going to like this jersey. This is super boring. This is like the New York Jets. It's like, ugh, get out of here. This logo carries because of the color scheme. I think it's better than this color scheme, but I do think the new Jets logo is the superior logo. I'd love to see this logo on the Heritage Classic style jerseys. I would. Let me know what you think, Jets fans. The Knights get an A. This is an A logo. This is such a cool logo. They have a V in the middle for victory and for Vegas. It looks fantastic. It is a mean helmet. It just, everything about it looks cool. On the shield, it all just makes perfect sense. The only thing I wish of the Golden Knights is that I don't like the yellow. I'm sure some home fans do because it's gaudy. I don't like this logo at all. Home fans like it. There's nothing inspiring about this logo compared to the Knight helmet. This is just trying to sell t-shirts. Establish this as your logo. Don't go too far down the rabbit hole. It doesn't make any sense. Gold, black, and red. That should be the color scheme of the Knights. This little bit of gray is fine in the logo, but having the gray all over the jersey, I think they missed on that one. The jerseys are still fantastic, but it would have looked better if it was just black and gold. Seattle Kraken, they're going into the A tier, and they're going into the A tier because this is just a really well thought out logo. It's clean, it's simple. S for Seattle, it's the Kraken. It's got the eye on it. Everything about this is cool. This would absolutely go into the S tier for me if you added the anchor to it and the S went around the anchor. This is an amazing logo. Their jerseys look amazing. Everything that they've done from a marketing standpoint makes sense. The LA Kings, Holmes fans like this. It says La and has a crown. Boring. It's a shield. Not a huge fan of it. Home fans like it. They've had some of the worst logos and uniforms in the NHL. This isn't their worst, but it's not their best. The LA Kings purple crown. Ugh, gross. One of the worst logos and uniforms in the NHL. I hated it. It's just disgusting. People may like it. That's fine. This go in the F tier. The LA Kings shield logo actually moves up to the B tier for me. I do like the coat of arms with the hockey stick crossing. It says LA Kings, which again, lowers it. You don't need to put your name in it. We know who you are by now, but it has the crown and I love the absolute look of the shield. So this is pretty cool. I think the LA Kings in purple was the way to go. Purple, black, and silver is the best LA Kings color combo there is. Purple's a royal color. Black and silver, it's okay, but it is nowhere near as cool as this. Let me know what you think down below. The LA Kings Chevy symbol. Gretzky wore it. It's fine. Home fans like it. This is super boring. Los Angeles Kings. It's just not a big thing for me, so I'm not going to get into that one. The best logo they ever had in an A tier logo is this crown. Compared to this crown, this is a mean crown. I love that the hockey sticks are on the top. I love the fact that it has the L and the A kind of built into it. It's just hidden in there. This crown is very, very neat. I think it's awesome. You put this on a jersey that is purple, silver, and black, and you got a big winner. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Not every original six team ends up in the S tier. I said we're just not going to default to original six in the S tier. This is a legendary logo. It looks awesome. This is the best Leafs logo I've ever seen. The Leafs have had so many different variations of the Leafs and different logos throughout the years, but I love the way this looks and I like the font on this. Everything about this logo is fantastic. The Toronto Maple Leafs are definitely legendary, but in order to get to S tier, I'm just not a huge fan of a little bit of writing in it. I get it. 100 years more of history, but this is a fantastic logo. So it is an A tier for me. It's right there with Boston. So you're tied with your other original six team. We're not pushing you all up to the S tier. There you go, Toronto. The Wendell Clark, Dougie Gilmour, Toronto Maple Leafs. For some people, this is an S tier. For other people, this is an F tier. This is such a divisive logo because it's basic. It's a maple leaf. It's blue, which is really weird because Canada's colors are red. So people go, wow, it's blue if you're not a Leafs fan. I love the Leafs uniforms. I do. I've always liked them. The blue and the white is so simple. When you can pull off two color palettes as a team, you are certified badass and fresh. And the Maple Leafs have always looked good. I'm going to put this in the B tier though, because I think this logo is just vastly superior to the original Dougie Gilmour Wendell Clark logo from the 90s. The Nashville Predators, C. Home fans like it. The original logo with the silver and the silver jerseys, to me, they were trying to capitalize in on what the San Jose Sharks did, which is be something cool for children. I don't understand why they went with the Predators, to be totally honest. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but now that they've established and become a good team in the NHL and a mainstay, I can accept it. I get it, but it felt really hokey and cartoony, and the fact that it's a saber-toothed cat that doesn't actually, whatever. Maybe there were saber-tooths there back in the day, and that's part of it. You let me know down below, Nashville fans. But Nashville fans are awesome. They're rowdy in their building. They're loud. They have the best chance going. It is a fantastic building. Just this logo, I could do without it. The 3D cat, it's going into an F. Compared to this logo, 3D animals other than this jungle kitty up here just don't make any sense. This just is not a cool looking cat compared to this. This looks like something that would be, done in other graphic design reasons. It could make sense other places, but in hockey jerseys, it needs to be simple. This logo here, I think, is actually a B. It goes up because I like the simplicity and the color change of it. So the current Nashville Predators logo, I think, is pretty cool. The New York Islanders. This is absolutely an A tier logo. It's right up there with some of the other legendary teams. I love that it says New York with a hockey stick. I love that it says Islanders, but the I points to where Nassau Coliseum is located on the island. So it's very cool that Long Island is actually depicted in here. It's turned, it's not turned the way you'd see it on a map, but I guess it depends the way you're reading a map, but the eye actually points to where the arena is, which is super, super cool. I don't know what that means for the future of the new arena. I guess it's just no longer an Easter egg, but it's one of those Easter eggs to make a throwback to. This is just, it's a cool color scheme. The orange and the blue, it's fantastic. Islanders fish stick guy. I'm going to go C tier as opposed to F tier. Some people hate this. I really like this logo. I do. I think it's a very 90s logo. I think it looks awesome because it's very, I know what you did last summer. The guy's holding a hockey stick. I love the look of it. They got sued because it is fish stick guy. It just says Islanders. This is vastly of a superior logo, but this is a cool try. I like where they were trying to go with it. Edmonton Oilers. This one is a fail right away. I mean, Oilers fans, you got to agree with me. This is one of the worst uniforms they ever had. It's just, it's gross. And you know why it's gross? Because your original logo is an absolute A tier logo. Edmonton is oil country, baby. I love the way this looks. The fact that Oilers are dripping oil looks fantastic. It's got the drip going on. It's got the drop of oil through it, the orange and the blue. This is such a cool logo. It's very basic. It makes perfect sense. This is right up there with the Islanders and the Leafs. These are legendary logos. So amazing work. Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's start with one of the ones Mario Lemieux wore. The original, well, it's not the original, the 90s Penguin. C tier. Home fans like it. I like what they were trying to do. It's kind of neat. It's something different, but you know what? It's just not the same as this cartoon little penguin, which I'm putting into A tier. Some people hate it because it's cartoony. They think there could be more things that are done here, but this penguin is awesome. It's a penguin playing hockey. He's on skates. It's fantastic. It's the Penguins. Like, you know exactly what this is, and black and yellow is such a legendary combination. I thought this even looked good in gold. This is just a stellar logo. It is fantastic. It doesn't crack S tier for me though. New York Rangers. They're going A tier as well. This is also a very clean logo. The red, white, and blue. I love that it's a little bit lighter blue than what the Jets and other teams are wearing. I get it. They're the original one. I love that it says New York and it has the Rangers across it. It looks like a patch, like something like maybe a Ranger would wear. So it is very cool in that sense. I love the patch and the shield look to it. This is just a very cool logo. I love the fact that the Rangers just write Rangers down their jersey. It is such a legendary look. The Rangers uniforms are S tier all day. Their logo is an A tier. The New York Rangers Statue of Liberty. Home fans like it. I like this jersey logo a lot, but it doesn't compete. This is the logo. This is the logo. This goes on the shoulder patch and then Rangers goes down the middle. It's just the way it goes. The Buffalo Sabres. C tier. This one's going to be C tier. This Buffalo Sabres logo is fine. It's Sabre, it's Buffalo. It looks outdated, but it's, you know, it's a patch. It's circular. It's legendary. You know what? It's a neat logo. I'm actually going to push it up into B tier. I've talked myself into it already. Good job, Sabres fans. This is a B tier logo. The Sabres on it look pretty cool, and I like the fact that it is simple. So I struggle between the two. This is an interesting logo. This logo here for the Sabres is an absolute F tier. This is just a joke. Like, there's no legs to the Buffalo. There's just nothing going on in it. Whatever. This is a terrible logo. The 90s Sabres logo. That's A tier all day for me. This is an awesome looking logo. Fantastic. Like, it is a buffalo if you've ever seen it. It's got vicious horns on it. It's charging. It looks super cool. It stands alone. I like it. I get why they got away from it because it's just a buffalo. You're the Sabres. You're not the Buffaloes. You're from Buffalo. I get it, but Buffalo is just so much cooler. You could just be Buffalo and everything would be fine because, well, you're Buffalo. I love fans from Buffalo. I love bison and buffalo. It looks awesome. I really relate to 900-pound animals that just want to sit and eat grass and chill out, but can absolutely mess you up if required. So this is a very cool logo. I have it above the circle. The San Jose Sharks. This is a B tier. This shark is really cool. I think this could absolutely go into the S tier, but this is just such a cool logo. I do like the way this 3D shark and that looks, the way that the orange comes out. The Sharks uniforms, depending on which uniform you look at, are S tier. Some are a little bit lower, but the Sharks all around look very, very classy. This is a good uniform. The original Sharks logo, though, I'm going to give A tier. This is just so cool because I like the black. I do. I like more of the black than the little bit of added color to here. So to me, this was so legendary and did not require an update, even though this shark does look better. And I know we said this is a tier list and we're going to talk about looks. This shark looks better than this shark. I get it. But this shark was what you came into the league with. And I just like the way this shark looks. He's biting the old wooden stick. It didn't need to be updated. I don't see any reason. It's like this penguin here. You could make a cooler penguin, but why? This is the penguin. This is the shark. You've established it. It's part of your brand. This is an awesome, awesome logo. The Minnesota Wild, when it says Minnesota Wild is an F, like you're just writing Minnesota Wild. Sure, cool. Whatever, boring. The Minnesota Wild logo, though, is one of the most divisive logos in the NHL. Why? Because you don't know what it is. Is it a beaver? Is it a bear? Is it a wild? No, a wild isn't an actual thing. I get what they were going for. Minnesota wilderness. That's what they're talking about. So you got your trees in here. You have your moon in the background with the cloud. And the little bit of red in the background adds some color, but it's one of those nights that you're outside. I grew up in Manitoba, Minnesota, same foliage, same temperature, same great people. So when I go out to my cottage and my cabin and I'm out there in the woods like this, you know those nights that I'm talking about where the sky seems to light up and you get the big orange moon. That's what I think they're going for with the red. The star in the eye is an homage to the North Stars, which I absolutely love, and the rushing river, which is the mouth. I think this is a super well thought out logo. I think people give the Minnesota Wild way too much crap for what they are, because they're not the North Stars, because they don't know what animal this actually is, and because they just don't genuinely get it. I think this is so simple. It looks super cool. To me, this is an A tier logo. I can't put it in S tier. It's an absolute A tier. So there you go. Let me know what you think of my logos down below, or I will link my tier maker link into the description. You can go make your own tier list and send me a copy. I'm going to read your copy if you send it to me. So I definitely will like your tier list and take a look at it. So to summarize, I think the Canucks Orca is fantastic. I think the Blackhawk head looks fantastic. I think, Arizona, but I still think their logo is S tier. I think the Red Wings have one of the best logos in all of sports. The Mighty Ducks, legendary. The Duck Man himself, and he tipped his hat like this. The Habs, it just makes so much sense. So much sense. If there weren't so many word plays in the C and the H here, this would go down to A tier, but it's just so legendary. It looks so good. It just makes so much sense. It's clean. It's simple. I love it. And frankly, my favorite logo, number one for me, is the eagle from the Washington Capitals. This logo is just, it's fantastic. Washington has to go back to it. I hope Phoenix sticks with this one. These logos, never change them. It's the way to go. All right, so if you liked the video, give me a quick thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do something about S tier rankings with jerseys. I would love to get into those types of things in the off season. It's been Coach Ryan D. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of a goofier side of me and a breakdown of our NHL logos.